Oh, nyaho, it's Toki time. How's it going, everybody? I accidentally went to the wrong scene. I went to the wrong scene. I meant to go here. How's it going, everybody? Hey, oh my God. It's been so long. How long has it been? It's been like a month since I was able to last stream. Ugh, disgusting. Welcome, Colton Reese Richards. Hi, welcome. So today's probably actually just going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. I just wanted to catch people up on things because it has been a while, and I wanted to talk to you about some things. Also, completely unrelated. Where is this? God damn it. I wanted to... shoot, this sucks. I wanted to show off something because, so I have been slowly growing my collection of, like, anime figurines over the last, like, year or two. Oh, also, I have a little bit of a different mic setup. Actually, let me talk about this first. So the main reason I've been away for a while is because I've been moving my secret lair. So you see this room in the background, which is somewhat similar to my real life room, but now is completely inaccurate because I've changed rooms. I have a new place where everything is set up completely different, and the reason I was away for a while is because that just took a long time. Or it didn't take that long to switch, but I was in a situation where my computer wasn't set up, so I couldn't really do anything. Like, I couldn't actually stream it all because, like, I didn't have my PC set up. I couldn't set up my mic. I was basically trapped on just my phone the whole time. So now I have an insane, like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. I have this huge, like, you know, L-shaped desk. Like, it's like 3 or 4 times as big as my old desk, which is insane. And because of that, I now am able to change my microphone setup. So I have like an arm that goes underneath. Before I had to have like my mic set up on a shelf that was above my head, which is why I always smacked my hand into something whenever something crazy happened. And the problem with that is it kept on blocking my face, and I had to have like a really huge pop filter. So because of this change, now that I have like an underarm instead of an overarm, my camera's no longer being blocked by a giant microphone arm, so the tracking should be a little better. the tracking should be a little better. You may notice that my eyes aren't going whack every time I look at a different screen, and also my mouth is getting tracked a lot better. So yeah, that's the first thing. Isn't that crazy? Like, my model's a little jank because it's just kind of it was my first attempt at like a live 2D thing, but yeah, I don't know, for some reason now it looks like it's working a lot better just in general. So that's the first thing. I have a completely new PC setup, and it's gonna be insane. When it's done, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna like take a picture of my room when it's completely finished, because I don't have any of my game consoles set up right now, unfortunately. But hopefully I should get the TV installed this weekend, and then I can plug everything into my PC, and then I'll show you my awesome setup. But yeah, I finally got to a point where I can actually properly stream again. Oh, isn't that nice? So that's the number one thing. I had to spend a lot of time resetting up everything, but now it's all done and I'm back. Second thing, I just wanted to show you guys this. My sort of anime figurine collection that I've slowly been building up. God damn it. I had to like take pictures a few seconds ago. But I got a Metroid Dread Samus like a little while ago, and I've been waiting on this other one that I just got recently. It's an Emmy from Metroid Dread, and it's huge. Like, it's the biggest thing I've ever seen. And it's a Figma, which is awesome because it means it has a, like, it has so many points of articulation. It really feels game accurate. It's so cool. Yeah, Dread honestly is probably my favorite Samus design. I think before my favorite was Other M, even though I know that's the worst game. It's the design that they use for Smash 4. And I think that's really cool, slick design. But yeah, this thing's insane. I have to show you these. Let me get these images up. Pictores. Number one, here's my shelf. Here's my shelf of figurines. Check this out. So first of all, there's these two. You see these guys? Oh wait, you can't see my mouse. Oh, that's too bad. First of all, there's Metroid Dread Samus and the Emmy. I have some really cool pics from different angles of them fighting. I have Little Witch Academia figures. I have some Mikus. I have some Hatsune Mikus. The big giant one on the bottom is really cool. It was from a music video called, like, what was it? Future something? Future Eve. It's called Future Eve. It's an amazingly animated music video. Oh god. I have not talked this intensely in like a month. So luckily this is going to be a really short stream. But yeah, that really big Hatsune Miku on the bottom shelf, it's from a song called Future Eve, which has one of the best animated music videos I've ever seen. I highly recommend checking it out. Bottom left, very bottom left corner is Little Witch Academia, which is an anime that I love. Top right, there's a Hatsune Miku, and there's a Helltaker, and there's also a Shaman King. You know what's funny? When I got one of my other figures, it ended up being like a few days late, so then the people were like, oh, we're just gonna throw in a bonus thing. I don't remember anything about Shaman King. I like watched 2 or 3 episodes as a kid, and then that's all. So I don't actually know who that is, but I have it. If you see on the bottom, next to Hatsune Miku, at the very back of the shelf, those huge figures are some of my favorite. Okay. So I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, but Yu-Gi-Oh was like a huge part of my childhood. And one of my favorite parts of Yu-Gi-Oh is that the cards have a lot of really cool lore that has nothing to do with the anime. So there's this series of cards. Oh, it's so good. I don't want to yap too much about it because I want to talk about other things. But there's this series of cards called Charmers. They're called Element Charmers. They're sort of like if Avatar: The Last Airbender was also anime magical girls. They're really cool. I have 2 of them, but they're really expensive, so I have to save up some money before I can get the other 2. But there's Asa the Earth Charmer on the left and Ario the Water Charmer on the right. They're from Yu-Gi-Oh! Nobody cares about this lore except for me. I feel like I'm the only person that cares about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card lore. But yeah, so that's that picture, and then I wanted to switch over to some cool pictures of Samus. Check this out. Oh, isn't that sick? Isn't that so cool? Look at how cool that is. I like spent a lot of time trying to set this up. Always found funny that Yu-Gi-Oh is just a card game. Yeah, even in the show. It's because the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh is technically the show is originally just supposed to be about all games. That's why he's the king of games. He's not the king of trading cards. He's the king of all games. But because the game Duel Monsters, which was the card game in the show, was really popular with fans, they ended up having to turn it into a real life game. And then that got really popular and they were like, or no, it got really popular and then they kept on bringing it back in the manga. And then that got even more popular, and then they had to make it into a real game, which was just called Yu-Gi-Oh, the name of the series. But the game in the show is called Duel Monsters. which is really funny. Anyway, here's this awesome action pick, and here's another awesome action pick. Right here. This one's awesome. Look at that. That's so cool. That's one of the coolest figures I've ever seen. I love Metroid Dread Samus. You know what's really funny? Here's my confession. I actually haven't played Metroid Dread. I actually haven't played Metroid Dread, but I have these insane figures from it. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to show off. Or I guess that's the only thing I wanted to show off because everything else is a mess. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? What else did I wanted to talk about a few other things. Oh yeah, okay. So here is the plan for the near future. I wanted to do a lot of different things this year, and they ended up kind of not happening. Because things kept getting in the way of my plans. But I have a few plans for the next upcoming several weeks. Oh yeah, wait, before that, I wanted to talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened like a week or two after my last stream, which was a month ago. What did it have in it? I have a list of the things they had. Mario Luigi Brothership. I've never played a Mario RPG, I'm gonna be honest. It looks awesome, but I've never played a Mario RPG. I want to play Paper Mario from the beginning, so I'll do that eventually. And then I don't know, I guess I'll move into Mario and Luigi. I don't know when that's gonna happen. NES World Championships is really funny. I remember because they did it like once in the 80s, like as an actual tournament, the NES World Championships. They did it like once in the 80s, and then they never did it again. And then in like during the Wii U area, they held a Nintendo World Championships that had like Splatoon and Mario Maker in it, and they never did it again. Then they're like, hey, what if we just release a video game? So that's funny. Game I don't care about. Nintendo Switch Sports basketball update. That was funny. Mio Memories in Orbit. There was a game on the Nintendo Direct that looks like a sort of water painty aesthetic Metroidvania that I think is really cool, and I might play that when it comes out. Game I don't care about. Hello Kitty Island Adventure is funny. Bad Looney Tunes game Among Us I don't care about. For Magia, there was like in the Nintendo Direct, there was like a monster taming game that was also a farming sim that I thought looked interesting, even though anime farming sims are like super overdone on the Switch. I don't know if I'm gonna play that. Donkey Kong I don't really care about. Dragon Quest I might check out, but I don't have any near future plans. Luigi's Mansion, Denpa Man, game I don't care about, game I don't care about, game I don't care about. There's a new Mario Party. I don't know if I'm gonna get that. It depends on if I have people to play with it. But the two most important things are, number one, Metroid Prime 4, which is insane. I wasn't sure if I was expecting it like that direct, but that was the last thing they announced, and it was like, oh hey, it's in 2025. So my prediction is that is going to be the launch game of the Nintendo Switch 2. That's my prediction. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the Switch 2 launch game, and it's going to launch in spring of next year. That's my prediction. Yeah, it's crazy. And so I don't know that much about Metroid Prime. As a kid, I inherited a GameCube from my grandpa, who used to own a pawn shop, which is how he got that, even though he doesn't play video games. I inherited, sort of, I don't know, he just kind of gifted it to us used, a GameCube, and I had like 3 or 4 games. It was like Simpsons Hit and Run, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and like, I don't know, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, which is insane because I haven't played any Paper Mario games. And I remember when I was a kid, we played a lot of Metroid Prime 2, but we only played the multiplayer mode. And I think I tried playing the single player mode and ended up not finishing it. I like met Dark Samus and then I never finished the game. So the thing I thought was funny about Metroid Prime 4 was like, yeah, Silex is a bad guy, like you said, and I heard he was from the 3DS game that nobody played. So like nobody knew who he was. I like watched other people watch the trailer and they were all like, oh, evil Samus. So I thought that was funny because he is kind of like an evil Samus looking guy. So that's the only thing I know about that. I feel like I have to play the other games. He's also in Federation Force, which also nobody played. So he was in 2 3DS, or I think the first one was a DS game and the second one was a 3DS game. Made a cameo in Prime 3. Ah, I see. But yeah, that's the only thing I know about that, is there's a guy that nobody knows because nobody played the games he's from. But I own Prime 2, so I kind of wanna get the Prime 1 remake and then play my physical copy of Prime 2, and then play Prime 3 and then Prime 4 when it comes out on the Switch 2. But I don't know when that's gonna happen because I've like blocked out the next 2 or 3 months. So what I really wanted to talk about in regards to the near future schedule is that also in the Nintendo Direct is Legend of Zelda. Oh, that new Legend of Zelda game looks so good. Echoes of Wisdom, the first game where you get to play as Zelda as the main character. And not just like her thing that she was in Spirit Tracks. Isn't that crazy? That's so cool. And from what it looks like it's either a sequel to Link to the Past / Between Worlds, or it's on a very similar map. So yeah, who is Philip? Good. I'm dying! You've killed me! Good! That looks like a really cool game. And I want to play it when it comes out in September. On day that I don't have marked down. But I also want to play... So Ace Attorney. I'm a huge fan of Ace Attorney. And I played all the mainline games except the Edgeworth games. But now since the Edgeworth games are coming out, I also want to play those on the day that they release. So here's the plan for the next couple months. I'm going to play number 1. This is starting next week. I want to play Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. And then immediately after, Link's Awakening, and then immediately after that, Link to the Past, and then immediately after that, Link Between Worlds, because I think that the next Zelda game is going to be a sequel to Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds. The reason I also want to play Link's Awakening is because it's the Echoes of Wisdom looks like it's going to be in the same engine, using the same art assets as the Link's Awakening remake, and also just because Link's Awakening happens to be an earlier Zelda game, so I wanted to check that out first. So I calculated this all. I made sure I would have the exact amount of time to be able to complete, maybe not 100%, but like 90% complete Link's Awakening, Link to the Past, and Link Between Worlds just before Ace Attorney Investigations comes out. And then, hopefully, I'm able to finish Ace Attorney Investigations. There's going to be 2 games. I don't know, because it's only 2 weeks in between when those release and Zelda Echoes of Wisdom releases. But yeah, I'll be able to finish all 3 Zelda games a couple weeks before Echoes of Wisdom comes out, and just before Ace Attorney Investigations comes out. And also, I'm blocking a day off for the Splatoon, the Splatoon Grand Festival Splatfest. So, yeah, I'm going to be gravely ill and die from that just alone. Like, not even due to other circumstances, but just because of that. So yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to talk about is... What is this? Oh god. I like calculated this perfectly. I made sure that I'm not playing every day like I did with the Kirby Marathon, so that it's spaced out over a couple months for 3 games. So it's... What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streams for Link's Awakening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Link to the Past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Link Between Worlds. And I'm like, I'm spreading these out like a day or two apart so that I have the exact amount of time I need to finish those before Ace Attorney, and then play that before Zelda Echoes of Wisdom comes out. I missed one Nintendo Direct. How much got announced? I talked about the only things I really cared about. I mean, Mario and Luigi got announced, and that was a big thing, even though I didn't really care about those games. Even though I don't care about those games. Mario and Luigi Brothership, Meow Memories in Orbit looks really cool to me. It's like a water painty aesthetic Metroidvania, it looks like. A bunch of games I don't care about. Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, where you get to play as Zelda, and it looks like it's a sequel to Link Between Worlds and Link to the Past. That's cool. And Metroid Prime 4, which releases next year, and I believe it's going to be a Switch 2 launch game. Remember, you can't die in Link's Awakening if you want the true ending. You can't die in Link's Awakening if you want the true ending? Is that real? Also, no spoilers, because, well, I mean, yeah, no spoilers. I've seen, like, I haven't actually played any of those 3 Zeldas, but I know things from it. Like, I know I know the big plot twists of Link Between Worlds. I know some things from Link's Awakening. I forget. Link to the Past, weirdly, I actually know the least about, for some reason. You can't die in Link's Awakening if you want the true ending. Really? Do you have any idea how old Link's Awakening, Link to the Past? Yeah. Yeah, but like, you can just not spoil it if I ask you to, right? Like, I know people can inadvertently not help but spoil, but if someone's like, hey, don't spoil this for me, you can just be like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Is I got all my whole room set up now. I just have to fix a few things, and then I'll have everything perfect. I showed off my funny anime figurines, and then the next couple of months are going to be nothing but 2D Zelda. It's going to be 2D Zelda into like 2.5 weeks of Ace Attorney, and then we're going to play Zelda Echoes of Wisdom again. And that's going to... So like most of the next half of this year is just going to be mostly Zelda. Oh yeah, I forgot I wanted to play the Undertale Yellow Genocide route. I forgot I had that planned. When am I going to plug that in? I don't know, maybe that'll be a Halloween thing. Ocarina of Time 3D, awesome. I think I own Ocarina of Time for the 3DS, but I never finished it. I feel like that's a trend with me with a lot of Zelda games. I don't know. It's not that they're bad or they're not fun. It's just that I end up playing them at times where I end up not finishing them. So the only... You know, you want to know what my list of completed Zelda games is? This is gonna sound insane. The Zelda games I've completed are Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, even though I think I didn't get the true ending on that, and Phantom Hourglass, which I've heard people didn't like. I don't know, I enjoyed it as a kid. That's when I played it. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just end up never finishing them. Like, I played Minish Cap, but I never finish it. I have Twilight Princess, which I started, and then I never finished. Ocarina of Time 3D, which I never finished. I don't know, it's a weird trend. But now that I'm marathoning 3 Zelda games in a row, plus a 4th, I will 100%. I 100% am going to 90% finish them. I blocked it out so I can try to complete as much as possible. But I don't think I'm going to be able to 100% them. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the... What are they? The collectibles in Link's Awakening. Because there are like 100 of those, aren't they? Something like that. Still need to beat Phantom Hourglass. What? You haven't? That's crazy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm just realizing I'm probably gonna have to change my room background. And it's a shame because we haven't actually been on this screen that much throughout my entire streaming career. We haven't used this scene that much, but I'm gonna have to completely change it because I have so many new things that I want to put in the background. I'm gonna keep Charlie. I have Charlie the plant from Ace Attorney, but I'm gonna keep that when I draw my next room. I should do some drawing streams where I draw new stuff. But I feel like I'm really bad at actually paying attention, reading chat, and also completing an art thing at the same time. Oh my god, it's so hot here. My room has like really bad ventilation, so it's really hot. Can you keep... Yeah. No. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of this stuff is actually stuff that I own. Some of it isn't. Like, I don't own an Among Us. And I don't own those cactuses. I don't actually own Charlie the Plant from Ace Attorney. But I own, like, giant Kirby. I have 3 different sized Kirbys now, by the way. I've completely upgraded my plushie collection. So I have 3 different sized Kirbys and a little tiny baby Waddle Dee. I have, like, a Ditto, which I don't think I put here, did I? I have so many VTuber plushies. I have so many things that I want to change and add. It's gonna be amazing. You should get 10 tiny Kirbys. I should get 1 tiny Kirby for each Amazing Mirror Kirby. I should get a Kibi. But yeah, I'm gonna upgrade my room. It's gonna have all my cool things in it. But yeah, that's basically everything. I mean, this wasn't meant to be a long stream. I also need to get used to talking for over an hour again, because I'm already tired and my throat is getting sore, which sucks. I was thinking Mass Attack. Yeah, I know Mass Attack has it too, but Amazing Mirror is the only one of those that I played, and it was on stream. I still need to do another Kirby-thon to finish off the rest of the Kirby games. Because I Kirby-thoned up to, what was it? God damn it. Return to Dreamland Deluxe. And then I stopped. And I was gonna take a break, and I was gonna be like, I'm gonna finish the rest of the Kirby games this year. But like, now looking at my schedule, with everything I have mapped out, I don't think I'm gonna have time to do another Kirby-thon this year. So I'm probably gonna do it next year. Oh yeah, also, okay, I figured out my timing for when I want to I want to complete my new model by the time my VTuber birthday comes around, which is in December. I didn't get to work on it much since I didn't have my PC set up, so I couldn't use my drawing tablet, so I couldn't really draw. But I want to have everything complete by the time my VTuber birthday rolls around, which is going to be in December. And then maybe at the start of next year, I'll be able to do the rest of the Kirby-thon. Do the marathon once the Shantae games. Yeah, I think it's really fun to like play all the games in a row and see what the changes are. Because like off stream, I'm also sort of marathoning the Pokemon games. Which, okay, the way I'm doing Pokemon is I'm catching everything possible, which means 100%ing all Pokedexes, all Pokédeces, in every generation, and then also trying to find like weird special Pokemon like the in-game trades and stuff, and like things that are unique to specific games. And it's really cool seeing the changes they have going from generation to generation and game to game. Like, I played Gen 1, and it was a very mixed experience because those games are so old and outdated. But I mean, it's Pokemon, so the base gameplay is still fun. And then I played Gen 2 for the first time, and that was crazy because they made so many amazing improvements, and the graphics are so good for that when comparing it to Gen 1. And then I jumped to Gen 3, which is when I started playing, and it was like a breath of fresh air because it has so many of the things that I'm just used to in Pokemon, like all of the quality of life improvements with the box. Like, moving around your Pokemon in the box in Gen 1 and 2 suck. So yeah, I'm marathoning Pokemon off stream. I'm still on Gen 3. Like, it takes so long because you have to play so many games, and I finished Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and Colosseum, and I'm making my way through the Gen 1 remakes right now. And then after that, I have to do XD Gale of Darkness. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, that's basically everything. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Unless there's anything cool and fun happening in gaming right now. Nothing that I can think of. Oh my god, I forgot I never finished Pikmin 2. Well, that's gonna happen sometime. Hopefully this year I can finish Pikmin 2, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to schedule it. Oh yeah, Emio. I saw that. I forgot about Emio. So they revealed what Emio is, and it turns out it's a sequel to the Famicom Detective Club, which are two games that they remade last year, I think. I think they remade them like last year or a few years ago, and then they're making a new sequel featuring Emio the Smiling Man. Yeah, it's rated M for... I forgot what the specifics were, but I saw one thing that a lot of people were pointing out that I think people were getting overhyped about is suicide references, which I feel like people were overhyping to be like, oh my god, someone's gonna unalive themselves on screen in front of you. And I'm like, I mean, in games like Ace Attorney, those have quote-unquote suicide references, but like they only have one M-rated game, so I feel like people were overhyping that aspect. But I mean, it looks cool. It's a more mature game, and it's a sequel to a really old series that they're finally bringing back, so I might check those out eventually. But they're also visual novels, and I already have Ace Attorney Investigations on my plate for this year. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to that. I don't know if I'm gonna get to Emio, because I want to play the first two games first. I want to play the remakes of the first two games. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to that. But that was a cool thing that they did. I think it was really cool that they revived a really old series, and also it's an M-rated game, which is a little bit out there for Nintendo. Like, they have a couple of like horror games and M-rated games, but that's not a normal thing they do. So I think it's really cool that they're doing that. And I'm probably not gonna play it until next year or the year after that. I don't know. Maybe not even next year. Because like Pokemon ZA is gonna come out next year, and I'm probably gonna be really addicted to that like I was with Legends Arceus. And then also I want to play the Metroid Prime series, because Prime 4 is coming out next year. Oh god, I have so many games I want to play. Here's the problem with like wanting to play a sequel, a new sequel in a series of games. Like with Zelda, you can just play, I could just play Breath of the Wild without having to worry about playing every single Zelda game ever. Because most Zelda games are kind of their own thing, and then sometimes they get a sequel, like Breath of the Wild into Tears of the Kingdom, Ocarina of Time into Majora's Mask, Link to the Past into Link Between Worlds. But now with Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, it feels like it's going to be a sequel, and I feel like I have to play the first three games. And same with Kirby. Like, I just really wanted to play all the games up to Return to Dreamland, because I think Kirby is a really, really good series that references its legacy titles a lot. And like, even though the story is often pretty simple, the older games are very important to the overall series. Every character in Zelda is technically dead. Yeah. Like, I know that even though Link Between Worlds is a sequel to Link to the Past, I also know that there was like a lot of time in between those games. Same with what is it? Isn't it Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks? That's their own series, right? But they're like separated by hundreds of years. I think those are all the same universe, right? Because I know that Spirit Tracks is a direct sequel to Phantom Hourglass. And then I think Phantom Hourglass is a sequel to Wind Waker, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, because Ganon's always the same character, right? And then I think Ganondorf is also confusing because he doesn't reincarnate, but he gets resurrected, so I think he's the same character. But Ganondorf is also not Ganon. I don't know. Ganondorf is weird, isn't it? Phantom Hourglass is directly out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's a trilogy. How many Zelda games have a trilogy? Link to the Past might be a trilogy now. If Echoes of Wisdom is actually a sequel to Link Between Worlds, then that's going to be like the second trilogy series, which I think is really cool. Ganon and Ganondorf are the same. Ganon and Ganondorf has always been kind of confusing. Are they the same? I'm trying to remember like all the lore about Ganon and Ganondorf. Cause like Ganondorf is supposed to be like a different thing. Doesn't Ganon like transform into Ganon, or doesn't Ganondorf transform into Ganon or summon Ganon at some point? Cosmic Blaster, welcome. Cause I know that Ganon is always his own thing. I'm trying to remember. Cause like Ganon usually gets sealed away and then brought back into the world. Like I think he usually doesn't die. And then I think Ganondorf usually like actually physically gets killed and then is resurrected sometimes. And then Tears of the Kingdom is its own thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit, I'm not super up there with Zelda lore. I have a good overall idea of how it works, but yeah, I think that's probably going to be everything. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. I think Tears of the Kingdom like Breath of the Wild already made everything confusing. Because like they had the Rito and the Zora at the same time. And then Tears of the Kingdom was even more confusing because Tears of the Kingdom was like already weird with the Breath of the Wild lore. And then they also threw in additional lore with like Ganondorf and the Zonai and the Sages. That was mostly it, right? I'm trying to think. They didn't really add that much new lore except for its own internal lore. And also the time travel thing. I think the time travel was a really cool plot, but also because its time travel is inherently confusing, it was like really messy in terms of like solidifying the lore and the timelines and stuff. But yeah, I think that's probably everything. Is there anything else that I need to talk about? Zelda, Ace Attorney, Christmas. Crimbus. Yeah, I think that's everything. Oh yeah. Oh wait, here's one more thing. I also got here. What are we talking about? Oh, I've talked about so many things. Basically, to sum up everything, I was away for a month because I had to change locations and I didn't have a PC for like a whole month, so I couldn't do any streaming or working on anything, sadly. But now everything's fixed. I can start streaming again, and I'm going to start streaming by marathoning Link's Awakening, Link to the Past, and Link Between Worlds, which I should finish a week before Ace Attorney Investigations Edgeworth comes out. And then 2 weeks after that comes out, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom comes out, which is the main reason I'm marathoning Zelda games. So that I can have like a good basis for what I think is the sequel to Link Between Worlds. And also, I haven't played Metroid Dread. I haven't played Metroid Dread, even though I own Dread figures. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention. I want to set up a few things. I want to try dual streaming to Twitch. Like I'm still gonna stream on YouTube because I think I prefer having streams on YouTube, but I also want to dual stream to Twitch. I don't know, that's not really big news, but it's a thing I want to do. So I wanted to mention that. And I think that's everything. Oh, I'm so tired. It's been so long since I streamed. Every time I take like a little bit of a break from streaming, and then I come back, and then I'm not used to talking for an hour, and then I have to build up my resistance to talking. Resistance to talking, level 2. But yeah, next week is gonna be Link's Awakening. I got the remake because I want to get used to like the art style and mechanics because that's the engine that they're using for the next Zelda game. So yeah, a couple weeks of Link's Awakening, and then we're gonna do the other Zelda games. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week, and as always, oh Yasu Moriarty, a good night.